Hey everybody, Vilisink back again with Raid Shadow Legends, and in this one I have a cool one. In this one we are going to be finally doing what I've said for several videos now, and that is, I said I wanted to build somebody in Relentless. I thought it would be cool because I've expanded the set a little bit now. I've also got like a 700 point lead in the tournament, which I will be coming first in, don't worry about that. So I managed to get some pretty cool pieces, and I managed to find pieces to gear a champion that actually benefits Relentless as far as his kit, the utility, and him in general, just with the stuff the gear gives me. So without further ado, let's see quickly if there is a blue shard in the market. Nope. Let's go to champions. We do have a fusion warm-up event live, so quickly level up your gear, get that 15 points per day, because it will give you some pretty cool rewards for basically nothing. Yeah, so the champion that is in Relentless, it benefits his kit, it benefits him, it benefits the team. I think it was really cool. And I think over the long period, it will definitely benefit you, if you're later game, it would just be for fun. But if you manage to pull Gorgrab early, and you manage to maybe win a tournament if you're lucky or not, Gorgrab. Man, I used Gorgrab so much before I got Arbiter. He was just fantastic in Arena. He was my reviver in Dungeons. He was everywhere. I think there was even times I used him in Clan Boss back in the day. Fantastic champion. If Gorgrab is alive, everybody's alive. He is the reason I 3-starred Undead Horde faction. He's just one of my favourite champions. Sadly, no masteries yet, but that can be changed. So quickly looking at the gear skills. Look at his stats and the gear. We're going to mix it up in this one. So Misfortune is a single hit attack and chance of removing one random buff, which is really good. For instance, in the Magic Keep Arena is quite good if you have accuracy, but it's not where you're primarily going to use it, and it's not primarily what you're going to use him for. But in Dungeons, if you get him early in a like campaign and so forth, it does have uses, potion keeps and all that type of things. To remove a random buff is never going to be a bad thing. Resurge, 3-turn cooldown, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. Cool. I love a turn meter booster, great for the team. Speeds people up, but get their turn quicker, so forth. Helps cooldowns cycle. Places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns, which is again cool. Like I say, I used him in progression, which was Dungeons, Ice Golem, pretty much everywhere, Spider, even to a certain extent, and I probably still use him in potion keeps, because I haven't really designated teams. And he's just a fantastic champion to help people do damage, help people get turn meter, as a support in general, because of Animate, 5-turn cooldown. Let's see if we can change that with Relentless now. Let's see if we can change it to a 3-2, will we? Place your bets now. Revives any dead allies, basically all allies. I've worded that very weird. With 25% HP and heals all allies with 25% HP. So basically, when you're revived, you will be getting 50% HP back. It's amazing. We're going to be showing that in the video today. So it's a utility champion that can remove buffs, or has a chance to. He gives you turn meter. He gives you increased attack. He revives all allies with 25% HP. Then basically gives you 25% more. Never a bad thing at all. So we have base HP 17,600 plus, is pretty good. Really nice. Could be slightly higher, but again, it's easy to build on. Attack, irrelevant. Defense 1068. Anything over 1000, I'm a big fan of. 97 speed. Slightly slow for the type of champion he is, possibly. Maybe my opinion. But I mean, There is slower champions. Crit rate, crit damage, not necessarily important. Resist, base of 30 and no accuracy. I'll show you the gear and the stats on the gear in a second. How I have mine built is 61,625 HP in Relentless, which I think is pretty good. 2.2k defense, 238 speed, 197 resistance. That's basically all I was going for. And when I swapped this gear over, you had a speed set. I think you maybe had like a resistance set or something on before. The only thing that's changed is maybe like 1000 HP, maybe like 100 defense and like 6 speed. Everything else is really similar. This build is almost identical to how it was before. Very, very close, and I'm quite happy with that. I'm really happy with the gear pieces I got in Relentless. I'm happy how they rolled. So we have the double speed on the first one. Some HP. Accuracy attack is irrelevant, but accuracy I suppose can help with the A1. The helmet has a triple speed at 21, which is nice with some HP defense. Flat HP, defense percentage 23 speed on a broken shield. HP gloves, 17 speed, some defense and flat HP. It is what it is, but the main stat is what I was going for, along with the speed, HP, speed, resistance, defense, crit rate. 3 really good stats, and I bet a crit never kills anybody. He doesn't need it, but the other 3 stats and the main stat are perfectly in line with what I'm looking for. Speed, he has 11% HP. This is all to be glyphed if I choose to do so, which I probably will. Flat HP, you can glyph with a big glyph, potentially 750. I think it is roughly HP on that, so it's like 1000 extra HP, which is pretty crazy. Accuracy and resistance, just a fantastic build. So let's take him in, and let's see if we can proc some extra turns. We're going to slam him around in Dragon first. I was having fun earlier. We'll take in a bit of a CC. Let me go this time. We do not need a second to decrease defense. It was fun. It was slapping people around. We potentially could take in Vilisink. She will decrease speed. Or we have the poisoner for there. We have decreased defense. We have damage for the dragon. So why don't we take in Sylar? You may not have Sylar, but this is to show the benefit of Gorgorab in your team. So let's see how many turns we can proc. Enemy potentially are not getting a turn, which is never a bad thing. We have the revival if anything goes wrong, if we lose someone, which is possible. Level 20. The second wave on Dragon is synonymous with one shot and some damage dealers. But we have the free-to-play, almost the free-to-play team here. Sylar, a little bit more difficult to get being Void, but in the same respect, she's not, because shards are completely RNG. So let's proc some extra turns, Gorg. Then we're going to take a look at Ice Golem. It's mainly the bosses we're interested in. I haven't really been doing Doom Tower, so we can't go too far up Doom Tower to show anything off. But nonetheless, I did a few runs before I did this recording, and it's a build I think that is just fantastic. He isn't proccing extra turns at the moment. You put a few earlier on, it was quite cool. A1. He went straight back into the turn meter boost again, which is really, really nice. Relentless is a set that I really want to use more of. I feel like there's a lot of champions that I can potentially build in it, as long as they're not necessarily damage. I have good HP, I have good speed, type of utility support champion type of stats in my gear. So let's see how we get on taking on the dragon. I could have actually took Eurogrimmon instead of Kale for the extra poisons, but we also have Ninja. Hopefully we throw up that HP burn real soon. Come on, Gorg, you have to proc an extra turn. We're at the boss, and you have not procced an extra turn yet. And we did this before, a few runs where we're having a laugh, and you proc the extra turns. Come on, don't make me look foolish now. Because this is extra turn, and here you go, baby. Revive the poisoner. I like the build. I think it's really fun. I think if I wanted to mess around with arena, like an arena defense or something, it could be just as fun. Come on, come on. Let's go for maybe 3 minutes is not that bad. It's a free to play team, it's a fun team. If we get some damage from that poisons and we get an extra turn and see, kills proccing extra turns, putting up poisons, extra turn on the revive, turn meter boost, increase attack. Such a fun little set. Because Hellraiser is not taking a turn. We'll get a wall of fire, but we're not going to be getting scorched. Extra turn, come on baby, that's a one. That's it, it's so much fun. So extra turn, we just have to make sure, boom, the revive is done. Thanks to the extra turns. Otherwise, we potentially would have been 1 or 2 turns away. And as always, when you build a champion to show off a set, you kind of pick a team that potentially can't take damage to accentuate the fact that you're healing them. And you're getting your revive back respectively quick. So here we go. 3 minutes, 27 seconds. Not too bad. The damage is kind of irrelevant. The fun part is we have Gorgorab reviving people, doing what he does. We'll take a quick look. Ice Golem could be a bit of a challenge for people. I mean, he lost maybe 100 defense. I don't think he lost that much. The stats are very similar to the build he had previously. So let's jump on in there. But I'm a fan of this build. It is quite cool. Taking extra turns, being a little badass. Royal Guard is now a little bit slow for this team. That is the issue. So we take in... we keep Rotos for the block revive. Miscreated Monster also is slow. But what we could do is we could take in Nethril. We keep the decreased defense. We need to swap. We need to go... actually, we maybe keep this team in. Royal Guard is hella slow though. So if anything, what if... I mean, screw it, we could just try Ninja again, or fuck it, Eurogrim. Let's go with the extra poisons on the boss. Because you don't want to necessarily beat the boss for too long. If we can throw up some poisons, it'll be all good. Rotos will do a lot of damage. I severely slowed down my Royal Guard. So, I mean, I'm still winning the dungeon respectively easy. But let's remove a bit of damage. Let's rely on Gorgrab just a little bit more. Just so we can show just how good of a champion he is. As a support, as an everything. And most importantly, let's proc extra turns. Let's make this a fun one for people watching. Come on, extra turn, boom, here we go. The first of many. Extra turn for Rotos. With the second wave, if you've done 20, you will know that the 2 little buggers at the front, Terror Beasts, they have Shriek, which can be very detrimental to your team if they're not CC'd. They do have the reflect damage, which I've seen Rotos hit one of them. He kills them because he does so much damage, but he kills himself. Also, which is, it's just so funny. It's funny, but at the same time very annoying. So be careful for that when you come up. We're taking a team that's maybe a little bit slower, but a bit more sustainable. I used to use Nethril, a Miscreated Monster, a fantastic team, just to make sure they never really take a turn. And we're at the minions, so let's see if we can get an early block revive, because that's what we're looking for. And then we're just gonna let's Gorgorab do his thing, because this is one of the harder dungeons by far. Some people say pretty much the hardest, uh, because of the damage that the Ice Golem does, with his odds still standing. So we've block revived one. We're going to miss the block revive on the second one. Oh, yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. Extra turn. I think some turn meter boost. At least one of them is down, so we'll be taking 50% extra damage, which is not necessarily the worst thing. We should be getting hit real soon once Crisis gets past his HP threshold. We'll have to keep a little eye out for that one also. And let's keep on going. As fun as the gear set is, he hasn't brought as much turns as he has done before. But as well as proccing extra turns in Relentless, Grab, it has a revive, it gives you the heal, it gives you the turn meter increase, he can remove buffs, he just does so much for you. Increased attack, he's just such a great all-round champion. I think he's a fantastic candidate for a Relentless gear set. If you're earlier in the game and you don't have your Arbiter yet, you're working your way through that missions, and you don't have an apothecary type of thing, but he's just a fantastic champion. Put him in some Relentless, and there you go, 325. Was that not a bit quick? Do we need to do this again? I think we need to try and get him to proc some extra turns. Come on, some extra turns, some extra turns. For the people what extra turn, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Rotos will do the damage to people. Stag Knight has a decent build also. Just extra turn. That's all we're looking for. Extra turn over and over again. And this also helps because of the tournament. I just remembered that I'm in, so any victories in Ice Golem right now are good. But I'm going to secure first place. I'll just farm some energy overnight. And I'll wake up, I should have a respectable lead by then. Ice Golem is never really as bad as a Dragon or a Fire Knight tournament. They're way easier. Dragon it was like 20,000 points, Fire Knight 15,000 points. Straight into this one 5,000 points, and I think I took a step back from the Dragon one and the Spider one. Could not be bothered with Spider. Don't really need to farm it. I've got so much gear I have to actually look through and roll, but I'm waiting for an artifact enhancement tournament or an event. Reflect damage. That is the problem. You lose so much HP because of that. So be careful for that terror beast because they are such a pain. They are the main reason people potentially have issues getting to the boss because they just can't get past the second wave. And we should be getting to the boss quick. Come on, Rotos. Give me an A3, then give me an A2. That's what I'm looking for. That's it. On the boss, 150. I'll take it. Come on. We're not looking for a speed team. We're looking for a sustainable team. It's quite fun. Stag Knight you can easily get. Rotos was a fusion. I understand he is like way overpowered, and some people class him as kind of like the pay to win whale champion, but he was a fusion a long time ago. Anybody realistically can do just as much damage. Simple can do not as much damage, but still do okay damage. Never got the block revive, that's fine. He died because of the poisons. We got a resurge. Come on, proc some extra turns for the people, Gorg. A1, A1. That's what I'm looking for. A double A1. Let's work your cooldowns quicker, buddy. Come on. And he got frozen. Crazy. Couple of hundred resistance. And he got frozen. That was very interesting. Very, very interesting that that happened. We also need Rotos to hopefully kill one of these guys. Just makes the run quicker. If not, we're going to jump ahead. There's nothing worse than waiting for the end of an ice golem run because the ads continually get revived. So come on, the HP's been lowered. Rotos A3. Make sure he stays down. 126,000 damage. And it still wasn't enough. Resurge will take the increased attack. Give us 10-meter boost. I'll take it. A1, slapping him again. He's still pretty fast in that Relentless gear. Back again, A1. So, no, it is what it is. He hasn't procced as many. Here you go, extra turn. Extra turn. He's proccing sometimes, he's not proccing any other time. But regardless of that, he's still so fun. We're taking so long to kill this champion. And I'm trying to think if it's even worth staying to watch the end of it, or do we just come back in when the boss is dead? Just tap on the boss for a second. Rotos, hit him again. And there you have it, 425, sorry, 4 minutes 25. So a slower run, wasn't meant to necessarily be quick. I was hoping to get some deaths just to utilise the support Gorgrab can give you. But nonetheless, that's the build I have him in. And I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to try to get eventually a whole Relentless team. Just so we can have fun with that gear set in general. But that's my latest build. That is the Relentless build I have for him. And yeah, and I'm going to try to do a couple more. I think the Relentless gears, the gear I have, I can potentially build some more champions. I'll just have to look through it. Get some more pieces to 16 to have some more fun with that. So that is Gorgorab. He is in Relentless. Never procced as much as he should have, but nonetheless, still pretty fun. Still gave me that 10-meter boost I needed, the increased attack. He still gave us the heals when we did get the revive. So down below, how do you gear your Gorgorabs? If you have Relentless, I would try him. It is fantastic for a healer, support, utility champion. I'm Vilisink as always, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, keep on raiding, and I'll see you next time.